Well, hello there. You are listening to Nellyville, the podcast. And I'm Black. Hello, shalom, and welcome back to the Nellyville podcast, or should I say Nellyville, the podcast, the place to be. It's so lovely to be back and live and in action with you guys. Well, previously recorded with you guys. I hope that you had fun checking out the season 7. It's my shortest season ever. Go back and check out those episodes with my lovely mother Shonda. It was a great. It really was a kiki. It was a good time. Um, there's actually a lost episode that we had, and if I can ever recover the audio, you definitely will get a little treat there. But anyways, let's just jump right into it. Let's do a life update. So if you listen to those episodes that I did with my mother, you were probably like, "Girl, what are y'all talking about?" That was like eons ago. So we started out recording these episodes I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months ago. And it was supposed to be a 10 season episode, but life happens. People are booked and busy. You know what I'm saying? My mother's not just sitting around on her hands. I'm not just sitting around on my hands. We're not twiddling thumbs. We are out here booked and busy Black women. Hello? But anyways, y'all got 4 special episodes, and we recorded them a long time ago, and then it took me forever to be able to upload them anyways. Yada, yada, yada. All that to say, here we are now. So a lot has happened. When I recorded those episodes, I was in Clear Lake, Texas, the outskirts of Houston. I was in a little house. I was living a little suburb life. Now, fast forward, here we are, 2025, baby. I'm in the downtown of the Houston. Okay? Look, I know y'all probably like, Chanel, we never heard you talk about downtown Houston. You said you loved Clear Lake. What happened to the little House? Baby, y'all know I just be out here doing just doing whatever, dipping into doing it. Whatever the way whichever way the wind blows, that's the way that I'm gonna rock. So, how did I end up in downtown Houston? Short story is, I got a little boyfriend. Y'all know the little Joseph. Y'all know Joey. Check out those episodes. I did a season with him as well. If you want to get to know Joey a little bit. Joey kind of always had, dreams and aspirations and plans to live in the downtown of the Houston. It's not that I was ever opposed to it. It's just I'm just a little country, little southern gal. I love the suburbs. I grew up in the suburbs. It was all I knew. I like the city life, but I like the outskirts. But then we went out and we were looking at the high rises. We were looking at the mid rises. We were always in downtown. And if you know anything about Houston, everything is an hour away. And it's kind of like, if you're constantly hanging out downtown, if you're constantly hanging out an hour away, 40 minutes away from where you live, you might just need to live in that area. You know what I'm saying? But, it's not something where it was, look, don't get it twisted. I'm not one of them like, oh, my man, he said we would. No, it's not that. All I'm saying is I felt more confident in moving into the big city, if you will, the heart of a city, the downtown of it all, doing it with someone. And plus I'm older now. It's just different. I just have more confidence in just all areas and all walks of life. But I was just ready to shake it up. Little Joseph was very excited about it, and I'm kind of like, I'm down for the cause. Baby, if that's your dream, then baby, we gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And so we moved down here, and let me tell you something. one of the best decisions I ever made. Baby, I'm not gonna hold you. You know, and where we are, I don't want to dox myself, but it's giving the best of both worlds. Because where we are in the heart of downtown Houston. You get all the benefits of city life, but also it's not as much riffraff as I thought. I don't know why in my mind I thought I was going to move down here and it was going to be like hustle and bustle, New York. I don't know where I thought I was moving to. I don't know what I thought, but I think it makes sense now. Most of the time when I would come downtown, it was for an event. Therefore, you're going to a highly populated, highly traffic, high energy area because you're going to an event. So obviously, there's going to be a lot of traffic. There's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of, commotion in that area. But honestly, if there's not an event or if there's not something going on, if there's not a game, if there's not a concert, it's really pretty quiet down here. It's actually more or less dead. And and not dead in a bad way, just it's very quiet. I thought I was going to move in downtown Houston and it was going to be loud. I was prepared for noise. I'm like, okay, this is going to be different. It was going to be given something that I don't know. I guess that I saw on TV. Also, what made me nervous was the one-way streets. Baby, I don't know how to get around downtown Louisville, let alone get around downtown Houston. Baby, it's it's so much closer to my job. I basically, as soon as I pull out of the parking garage, it's just a straight shot. It's so beautiful. It all the things that I thought that I was like, oh, you know what? I'm ready for that. I'm going to accept it. I'm ready to all that stuff. I mentally prepare myself for, baby. See, that's why you need to stop watching TV. Sometimes you just need to experience things firsthand. But also, I just think that I'm at an age and I'm at a time in my life where it just makes sense and it worked out. And anyways, it's been very lovely. It's very walkable. It's very cool. We're saving so much money in Ubering. So much money. Now, I love Clear Lake, Houston, Clear Lake, Texas. Don't get me wrong. I love LaPorte. Those are always going to be, um, quote unquote, my homes for considering in Texas anyway. But I like that I'm getting this new experience. It's definitely, um, I don't know. It's just opened my mind a little bit more. I feel good, and I feel like, hey, if I can make it in downtown Houston, you know what I'm saying? Who knows what's next? But anyways, all that to say, so I'm in the downtown Houston. Little Joseph and I are doing very, very well. And yeah, so that's the most of the life update. I'm still out here doing in these nanny streets. But I got a lot extra time on my hands, baby. I ain't nannying 5 days a week no more, baby. I'm out here bowling. We fly high. Hey, no, like what? Cause it's. Anyways, not to dox myself as the millennial that I am, but anyways, I spent a lot of time talking about downtown Houston. Anyways, let's move on. So I want to get into a little bit of tea. Mm. Look, in the spirit of Pride Month, happy Pride Month, all these things. So, of course, y'all know I love the drag race and the stuff. But let's talk about some of the latest, greatest drama that's going on with the drag race. Okay, so Ariete and Irene the Alien. Okay, so here's what's going on. Irene was on season, what, 16, 15, one of them seasons. Ariete was out here. She was popping, but unfortunately, she was a first out. Then now she's on All Stars right now. And let me tell you something, baby girl is killing it. She was first out. She was the pork chop of her season. Now Arietta's on All Stars. She's just boom, boom, boom. She's giving it to the girls. Ariete was on the last season of regular Drag Race. And she's the girl who talk about on your nerves breath and made the really rude comments. She stole Jules Sparkle's jokes. She showed her tail on her season. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will say Ariete is a sickening queen, okay? You can't clock the mug. You can't clock the fashion. She's a good queen. She can't dance like that, you know what I'm saying? She's funny and situationally. I don't know how much. Anyways, the point is beautiful drag, beautiful gowns. You know what I'm saying? But she showed that she's very young. She had a whole lot of growing to do. And I held out faith for Ariete. You know, she was rude and nasty, but you know what? A lot of us, when we were young, we were rude and nasty. We said some things that we didn't mean, that were unnecessary. We did some things because we didn't know how to process our emotions. So I tried to give her a little bit of grace. Fast forward to now, this girl, baby, Ariete, look, you a little girl to me. You a grown woman, but you a little girl to me. I'm trying to give you some grace. But god damn, can we get these girls some media training? What the anyways, makes for great entertainment, but sweetie, you about to ruin your career. So anyways, Mistress, y'all know MIB, Mistress Isabel Brooks. Shout out to the Houston Queens, okay? She was also on the Drag Race. She's also on All Stars right now. But anyways, Mistress did a little interview with Irene. Irene is Ariete's, was Ariete's drag mother. So Mistress, being the messy queen that she is, she's still doing a little interview. And they get to talking about, oh, is Irene still your drag daughter? And Irene is like, look, baby, no. Cause hold on, y'all, my computer went to sleep and I need to be able to see my time. I need to be able to see my time. Okay, anyway, so Mistress asked Irene, yeah, so is that still your drag daughter? Oh, what's good? And Irene was like, baby, I don't mess with nobody that mess with my man, my character, or my money. Oh, okay. So basically insinuating Ariete to mess with her man, her character, her money, or all three, or a combination thereof. And I'm like, okay, come on, T. Come on, T. So this interview came out with basically Irene was like, that was my drag daughter, but baby, I don't claim her no more. I didn't see the whole interview. I just saw that clip. Fast forward, here go Ariete was like, oh, on Twitter, on X. She was like, you know, y'all thinking I was aborted, baby. This was what did she say? Y'all thinking I was aborted? This was an escape or something she said. And basically, she was like, Irene's talking about, I took her money, baby. I didn't take no money. She got $50 less because I joined the same show she was on or something, rather, whatever. Anyways, baby, if you took $50, $50 is $50. That's an oil change in some places. That's a tank of gas and a number 7. You know what I'm saying? That's at least 5 domino pieces. What is you talking about? So, anyways, and then she was like, her character, well, we ain't gonna talk about Irene saying racist stuff as far as taking her man, baby, I mess around with men. I don't mess around with prepubescent how you say that word? Hold on. Pre I can't even say the word. Hold on, y'all don't laugh. How do you say it? Hold on, let me type it in on Google. You hold on. Enunciation. Hold on. See, y'all over here making fun. I can't even say the word because I can't even believe that she said that. Hold on. Here we go. Here's what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
We are looking at how to pronounce this word. How do you say it correctly? The English pronunciation is as prepubescence. Prepubescence.
Okay, so y'all got it. Anyways, no. So Ariette is like, I'll mess with prepubescent men. or little boys or whatever. I talk to men and you be on that stuff and you say racist stuff, bippity boppity boo. And it's like, damn. So you call this girl a racist and a pedophile? And that's why you not her drag daughter? That's crazy. Then people was like, hopefully she was being hyperbolic when she said that. Hopefully she just meant like young guys, like twinks. And no, baby. Ariette doubled down and was like, no. Basically, all on X, she was like, no, she's a pedophile and she's a racist, and that's why I'm not her daughter. Damn. Why would you say that with your chest on Twitter? I'm not calling it X, it's weird, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So then here go. So Irene, I don't think ever officially made like a statement. But fast forward like less than like 24 hours, Ariette saying this stuff about Irene. Ariette gonna come back with, oh, those allegations are wild. Girl, what? Like she didn't say it. She responded to her own tweets and was like, oh, those allegations are wild. Baby, what? I'm so sorry. You cannot proclaim that somebody is a racist and definitely not a pedophile and then turn around and be like, oh, that's wild. In this economy, in this day and age, in this Trumpalation era, are you kidding me? Fast forward 5 minutes later, she gonna drop an apology and say, good evening. Baby, she must have got threatened with a lawsuit because here come Ariette with an apology, a public apology, talking about, good evening. I would just like to say that the allegations that I presented earlier may have been a little much. And in all honesty, I was speaking from a place of emotion, and I'm still working on myself, figuring out how I can process better and not react in such a violent way, and blah blah blah, and all the whatever the hell she was saying. Basically, she backtracked on all of what she was saying. She said that she spoke to Irene privately, and they agreed that a public apology was necessary. I don't give a damn if she apologized or not. If this gal was making this up, because that's some serious shit to say, especially when you have all these trans people under attack. You have all these drag queen art under attack. You have all of LGBTQIA plus under attack. And you're gonna say that all this racial stuff that's been going on. You said the worst two things that you could say about a person. That is career ending. You said this about this girl just for you to backtrack and say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it. I was just mad. Girl, what? In this economy, I hope she gets sued. I don't want the little girl to lose everything that she has, but she kind of deserves to lose everything she has because you can't just be going around saying stuff like that. That holds too much weight. Conservative Republicans and conservative America is looking for any type of ammo to use against a marginalized community. And you're going to say this stuff because you got mad at this woman getting on here and saying that she is not your drag mother. What are we doing here? She must have got threatened with a lawsuit to backtrack like that. But I hope Irene still sues her because at the end of the day, like I said, Irene is doing really, really well on All Stars. And even though Ariette backtracked and said that basically said that wasn't true, I was just being mean and nasty, it doesn't matter. That could still follow Irene's career. That could still follow Drag Race. They could still follow the community as a whole because people don't do research like that. If they research Irene and the first thing that pops up is that she's a racist and a pedophile, Brands don't want to work with that, whether it's true or not. The allegations alone are career ending, and I hope that does not follow Irene, and I hope that does not follow Arietti, because Arietti, nobody's going to want to work with you if you're going to be popping off at the mouth like that. You couldn't get online and just be like, you busted, broke down, bleach bomb, built bad body, the B word. You could have said anything. Baby, you went for the jugular. Only to turn around and be like, hey, sorry. Who's going to want to work with you? Baby, you over here ruining careers off of what? Get it together, Mary. But I hope that this does not affect Irene's chances of taking home the crown. I really, really hope. I really, really hope not, because, you know, and we'll be able to tell if it's something where it seems like Irene is winning the season and all of a sudden somebody else gets the crown. People are going to be like, oh, they probably didn't give her the crown because of the rumors or because of the, the drama that was circulating around Irene's name. Or in the same breath, if somebody else gets the crown, you don't want that person to feel like they didn't deserve it. And people, because that gives fans ammunition to be like, oh, well, that other queen only got the crown because of the drama that Irene got sucked into. It's just not good for business. It's not good for the show. It's not good for the community. It's not good for anybody. Why would you? It was so many of the things that you could have said that came to attack that gal. But I'm still cracking up off of the fact that girl came back and said, wow, those allegations are wild. For you to say those allegations are wild to yourself, what the baby, something wrong with you. And this is why people need PR media training. But anyways, I hope it works out for Irene. I am glad that she backtracked and apologized publicly. That's the best case scenario. But I hope that all of this, if Arietti is deserving of the crown, I hope that does not ruin her chances of getting the crown. But anyways, that's my 2 cents on that. This last thing that I'm gonna close out with is something a little more lighthearted. So y'all know that Jennifer Hudson has her little talk show or whatever. And a lot of people be saying she's not a good interviewer. This is why we don't need celebrity interviewers. We need people who are naturally messy, naturally nosy, so they ask the right questions. People who are trained and went to school for journalism. You know what I'm saying? Some people be getting jobs because they're celebrities, and just because you can sing don't mean you can interview. Now, look, I don't know. I'm just saying this is the word on the street. I don't be watching Jennifer Hudson's talk show. I watch the little clips when they pop up, but I've never seen a full episode. I love the little spirit tunnel things that she be doing. I love those. And the little clips that I've seen from her are cute. But in this recent interview that she did with Eddie Murphy, I finally saw what people were talking about when they say that she does not know how to interview. And actually, I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna play the clip for y'all and we're gonna talk about it. Hold on, let me go to the TikTok. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up for y'all. Okay, here we go, y'all. Listen to this. This is J Hud interviewing Eddie Murphy.
Wait, it's your daughter's wedding, right? My son and they got married like 2 weeks ago. They went off. Everybody was making the big wedding plans, and then they decided they wanted to do something quiet with just the two of them, and then they got married. And now Martin don't got to.
Y'all are in-laws now. You and Martin are in-laws.
Yeah, we're in-laws. He don't have to pay for the big wedding now.
Did you sing for the wedding, Eddie?
No, I didn't. They didn't have a wedding.
Oh no.
No, they went off and they got married at the church. They didn't. They just had the two of them and the preacher. They had a little quiet. Look at it, a little quiet little thing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Some people have like a big party or something.
And
they ran off and got married.
Okay, will you sing then?
Will I sing at the wedding?
Yeah.
No, I ain't singing.
No. I think they would appreciate that. Don't y'all think so? I think so. Martin was just here recently. He said
Martin will sing at the wedding.
You think he will?
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Imagine Martin and Eddie Murphy
do a duet.
And do a duet. Are you going to sing at...
Okay, girl, Are you listening? Was she listening to him? Look, it wasn't a bad interview, but I was like, why you keep asking that man if he's gonna sing? What's he supposed to sing? My girl loves to party all the time. I mean, Eddie Murphy got a nice singing voice, but why would you keep asking him if he's gonna sing? Look, my theory was she wanted him to ask her to sing at whatever after reception or whatever they're gonna have. Baby, he said they ran off and got married. The wedding, they didn't have no wedding. Whatever marriage ceremony they was gonna have has already been had. Why you keep asking it? What are you? I don't. And Eddie Murphy was trying to be professional. He was like, and you could tell he was like, and this is why I don't do interviews because why you keep. I wouldn't even have thought to ask if he was gonna sing. Now I know they did Dreamgirls together. We know he's got vocal chops and stuff, but as an interviewer, I don't think the first question I would have asked was you going to sing at the wedding? Baby, I would have been asking about the tea of, well, how do you feel about them being married? Do you, um, I would have asked, how does Martin feel about it? Are y'all closer? How long did they date? When did they meet? You think they're going to have kids? Like, this is why we need Wendy Williams. Okay. This is why I say we need to give drag queens daytime TV shows because they're going to be messy. They're going to be shady. They're going to ask the questions that we really want to know. We're not going to be sit up here asking comedians why they're not singing at their children's weddings. But also, Jennifer, listen, baby, they said they already had a wedding. I don't know. Anyways, maybe she'll grow into it. She seemed like a really sweet girl, but I'm after this clip, I really see what people are talking about now. I don't know why she kept asking that man that. I don't know. It was so much more that you could have asked about them two cheering getting married. Anyways, congratulations to the newlyweds. They seem like they make a cute couple. That would make a really great. Somebody should make a movie or do something that's a really cute story because Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence have such a great history together, and so for their kids to grow up and get married, um it's just a really beautiful story, and there were so many angles that Jennifer could have tackled. And I'm somebody, obviously I don't have a communications or a journalism degree, but that was such a beautiful thing for her to have wasted this really good interview on asking him if he was gonna sing, and then they were talking about Dreamgirls. I feel like, girl, gosh, you missed an opportunity. But anyways, not too much on my good girl, my good Judy J Hud. Hopefully she'll take this as a learning experience, and the producers will read the notes, read the comments, and she can learn from there. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, in between time, baby, get Sherry Shepherd off the air. Drew Barrymore, you can keep your little show. I see clips. I ain't seen the whole thing. But let's get Wendy back. Okay? And say what you want about Wendy. She asked the questions y'all wanted to know. Whether you didn't like what she said or not, she knew how to do an interview. Okay? Bring back the Ricky Lakes of the world. Hello? Y'all hear me? Get some of these drag queens on here who are going to ask the questions that we want to know, who are going to be naturally nosy and naturally messy. Anyways, all that to say, who am I? Who am I? But anyways, that's all that we have for today, y'all. It feels great to be back in a groove. I hope you guys enjoyed the episodes that we did with Shonda. They were very, very funny. I laughed my behind off. Okay, go back and binge watch. Stay tuned. Lots more content coming. Come and follow me on all of my other social media: TikTok, YouTube, the Instagram, whatever. I'm there. If you have it, I probably got it. Go ahead, search it up. Links are all up in the bios and the profiles. Leave a little 5-star review. Leave a little comment. And yeah, we out, y'all. Okay,